Um, okay. And I should probably have my Twitch open as well. Oh. Fucking hell, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna start in a bit. Let's see. Seen a lot of manga with you. Yes, I know. Okay, and most people should be here now, so I'm gonna quickly take this off and make sure that my music is working. Oh no, not that one, don't stop that one. Let's see. Right. Just the last thing. Okay, I think we're good to go. Dova 1. Hello. Yes, yes. Today we're gonna review some manga. Because, I don't know, just thought about doing it. And also have my first collab here, which is Trick. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Trix, the Manga Goblin. How is everyone? I review manga and talk about Warhammer on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I stream on Twitch as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, any idea why did you start this, or
What?
do you have any reason why you started reviewing manga, or just for fun?
I just didn't see many channels that were doing it really. I mean, there's Joey and there's a few others, but
Yeah.
you know, I just wanted to review things that I liked, basically, and just tell people about my hobbies, and really that was why I started.
Ah, okay. Fair fun. Also, reason why you're a goblin, or just thought pretty cool design?
I saw Goblin's got a bad rap, you know, in various manga and anime and stuff, and I thought, oh well, I'll just be a nice little goblin, you know, that was it, you know.
Okay,
Goblin,
okay.
You know, in lore they're small creatures that hoard things, and maybe, you know, maybe manga would be something they would hoard if they were real, so that's why I guess.
Okay, that's fair fun. Anything you'd like to know about me, or
Yeah, I mean, why did you choose the avatar that you chose?
well, funny story. It was actually I was just laying in bed at 3 AM, and I always wanted to get into the Twitch scene and the VTuber scene, but I was like, yeah, there's heavy generic kind of characters already, like Onis and demons, and thought to myself, what if I just become the typical ugly bastard that I am, and I was like, yeah, that could be fun. And then it actually took me like 3 months to convince myself to spend the money and push someone and get someone talented to make the character. So here I am.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Thing is, that's probably why I reached out to you. To be honest, I thought, you know, there's a lot of manga and anime and other media with so-called ugly bastards out there, and I thought,
yeah, I can't wait to see some.
Yeah. So well, maybe we could find some good ones and review it together. That's why I really approached you, to be honest. You know.
Okay, yeah, I'm honored. Would like to.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Then I see one question in chat. What's your favorite manga? We'll probably get to that in a bit. First of all, did you have anything to start with, or?
Well, it's your channel, so you
channel,
should
okay.
yeah, you should be sort of host.
Yeah, no problem.
Don't want to step on any toes or.
Step on it, okay. Then I'll start with my recommendation that I actually just sent you, and I'm gonna try to plop it in here. Give me a minute. Because I recently rewatched the manga. We rewatched anime of it, and I thought it would be a pretty good starter. Let's see. Here we go. Whoop. Yeah, I actually don't know how to pronounce it. That's that's a little bit of a problem. Sankareya, I think.
Sankare.
Sankareya.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's about a girl that actually dies, and then a male resurrector, yeah. And it's a little bit of an edgy rom-com, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah. Just so you have also read it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was some time ago, so I'm probably a bit rusty on some of the details. Doesn't she fall down a well in the beginning or something? Or
no, she. Pretty sure she dies by falling off a cliff, if I remember correctly.
And he resurrects that cat first, doesn't he?
Yeah. And then the whole stick comes at the cat kinda. Pretty sure he becomes a little feral, if I remember correctly. If he doesn't eat a certain plant.
Yeah.
And I really like the dynamics between characters, and it's a pretty good story overall.
It is. It's really cool. It reminded me a bit of a Lovecraftian, Reanimator, that type of thing. Herbert Westish, with the elixir and stuff.
Yeah. Because pretty sure there's a lot of detail that goes into the making of the elixir itself in the story, which I really enjoy, because it's not like, oh, it's magic, but they actually give a reason why it works and how it's created.
Yeah, it's not so hand-wavy, is it, in that one, as it is in others. I mean, there was another one that's very similar to this. That's basically just hands waves it.
Could you give me the name, or?
I
don't remember.
I can't remember it now. Sorry, but I remember it was very similar, and it only lasted about 12 chapters as well.
Okay. Well, pretty sure this one's pretty big.
Yeah, it's about 60, I think. It's about 60 chapters.
Well, now that
volumes, something like that.
Okay. Now, while we're going on, pretty sure it's a good idea to just after this quick starter, just go straight into our favorite manga. I don't know if you have any prepared, because I sure do. And people are gonna hate me for it, I think.
I'll get it quickly.
Just send me the name and I'll...
When I begin this?
I already have mine here. People are not gonna believe this, but I'm a big fan of old songs. Yeah, they actually just go throughout either a big drama or they overhype the romance aspect. Prison School,
doesn't know when to end an arc and start the new one, and then when he starts the new one, he doesn't know how to end the arc. And now it's just, you know, when you have like a time loop thingy, like in Kurumi with the Ender Sight, it's doing that kind of, which, if people remember the anime, that annoyed a lot of people because there was 8 episodes that were the same, basically, except for tiny changes each one.
Okay. So they kind of put a lot of filler episodes or filler chapters near the end.
Yeah.
And then does it also affect the ending of the chapter or of the arc that you're reading, or is it usually just okay?
Honestly, and the one Certain Academy, the last couple of arcs, I think were unfulfilling.
Okay.
They just kind of like ended, like, and it was all the drama in that arc was just really resolved really quickly, like in a few panels, and you just feel like, well, if you just did that in the beginning, you could have just ended this arc in 1 or 2 chapters, you know, not 8 or something.
Okay. So would you recommend it, or is it actually, does the filler episodes actually make it what's called, make it less fun? I guess you could say.
I would say that if you like rom-coms, it is worth it for the amount of comedy, especially in most of it. But the last couple of arcs, the jokes have kind of not fallen flat exactly, but been ill-timed with the rest of the content.
Okay. So I guess we could also rate some of them. So would you rate this a little bit?
Oh, Certain Academy, I would from
0 to 10.
0 to 10, I'm probably about 8.5.
8.5. Okay, so it's still pretty high up.
It's pretty high up, yeah. I mean, the last couple of arcs don't actually ruin the manga exactly. They just feel too long for what they are.
Okay, so if they ended it earlier, it probably would be higher.
Yeah, it probably would be higher. The character design is really good as well.
Okay. I'll be sure to check it out. Never seen it, so that's why.
Yeah. I mean, the anime is slightly different, but it's almost there, you know, because sometimes when there's an anime and a manga, the two have very different anime, they're very different styles, you know?
Okay, styles, okay.
And, but this one is fairly consistent with the style, so, you know, the main characters look, basically you can recognise them in either format, and you know, it doesn't change the story too much, except towards the end. There's Darwin Academy, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's about someone who studies insects, and it references that, but that never happened in the manga. So.
Okay. Well, I'll just put it up here, and I saw a suggestion in the chat. You probably have seen this one also. Maybe not the anime, but definitely, maybe not the manga, but definitely the anime. I don't think this is a good picture. Hold up. Let's get the anime next to it.
Ooh, I'm not sure actually.
If I vaguely remember it, pretty sure it's what's it called? It's comedy. I don't know if I'm correctly remember this, but it's also an edgy comedy. But hold up, let me get. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. We'll skip this one because this isn't the one that I was thinking about. If someone in the chat can help me, I'm thinking about Wolf Spirit. It's an edgy anime with a wolf spirit where they go to two wolf clans are fighting each other over one dude. If I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. It looked like what I just had on screen, so that's why I'm confused.
Oh, I thought you meant that one with it's not she's a deity, is she? And she travels along with the guy in like his apple cart. No?
I don't think that's it, but we'll just quickly move on. Hold up. If I can actually save this as not a WebMG, but as an actual. Let me get Paint out to quickly do this, because this is actually one of my favorite anime, and One of my friends probably knows that, who's also here, I think. But
yeah, Spice Wolf. That's it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Spice Wolf. Oh, Spice Wolf. Okay, that's not the one I was talking about. I don't think I've seen Spice Wolf, even though I really should, because I've heard some really great things about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's also one with their daughter as well. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Image. Here we go. This is one of my favorites. I have two actually. This is Momokuri. I'm pretty sure you say it like that. It's a pretty generic rom-com. It really well, the main difference there is between this and non-rom-coms is that the girl's actually kind of a psycho.
Yandere or something.
No, not like that, but she's really attached to the dude, as in she collects his trash and puts a little shrine, makes a little shrine out of it. So, and I don't know why. Every time I watch it on either on the anime or I read it online, it always is good to read because I don't know, it just does something with me.
I think everyone has something like that they'll go back to multiple times, and you know, because they enjoyed it. I think MM is the one that I would say would be that.
Oh, okay.
But that will never be finished because the author died.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really funny.
Huh. Well, what's it called again? With Momokuri, the main reason I really liked really liked this anime and the manga is because they don't rush the process of the romance itself.
Right.
And it actually takes them quite a long time to actually get attached to each other, which is a really fun dynamic if you play your cards right. Because they'll have this they'll have pretty much two perspectives. One of the boy that's like, oh no, everything is so embarrassing, and then on the other side the girl that's only really into the material things. So she doesn't really, she does care, but she doesn't really notice that they're doing something embarrassing or something fun. But she's just focused on getting his tissue or something, or not really there.
I mean, that's kind of Yandere's behaviour, you know.
Yeah.
Collecting some people and
it's kind of your own way.
Be violent. You know, that's. I think that's what a lot of people expect. They expect it to be like Yuno and stuff. But Yandere doesn't have to be violent. I mean, one of my favourite mangas, Koharu no Hibi, has a non-violent Yandere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the modern Yanderes, you're looking at, well, as I said, you're looking at the ones in I think it's something like The Spirits Are After Me, and
I should remember that one. I don't think I've read the manga, but Spirits Are After Me.
Something like that, yeah. And there's like he's protected by a wolf spirit, and the other ones are trying to eat him because they want to eat him basically.
Ah. Actually, now that I see it, I should remember it, but I don't think I've watched it actually. So, also, sorry if I'm ignoring chat because I'm just having a nice talk. But I do notice you, Itama. And if you guys have any suggestions we should talk about, what do you think of the Promised Neverland manga? That's also a pretty good one. Have you seen the anime or the manga?
I haven't seen either, actually. Promised Neverland.
Neither.
No, I haven't. No, I probably should check it out. That's got really good reviews, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'll give you a tip. Stop at season 1.
Stop at season 1. Okay, dokie.
Yeah. Because for some reason season 2 it just dips. They went from this very crazy heist story to, oh look, we're now living next to the people that are trying to kill us, and it's very scary. So it's not really that. It's not that good.
I mean, is it because when you think of Neverland, you think of the Peter Pan story? Is it like that at all, or not really?
Wait, what did you say? Sorry,
Well, when you think of Neverland, you think of Peter Pan and
Peter Pan.
that type.
Well, not really. How to say it? It's kind of like Prison Break, the movie, especially the first season. Have you heard about the concept or what's about, or?
No, I would be going into Promised Neverland completely blind.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it because it's actually real good. So I won't. I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. It's pretty much about. It's just two kids that, over multiple kids that start to realize that their world isn't what they think it is, and you'll quickly after if you watch episode 1 of the anime, you'll be instantly hooked because they show some pretty good tension building and a pretty good climax at the end.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it's probably better to stop at the first season because the ending of the first season, they complete their goal. I'll just say it like that. But then afterwards in season 2, they're like, oh no, wait, we're still going. There's still more things to do, and we really drag on, and they really stop with what's called. They stop using the fundamentals or the rules of the world with which the manga is based in, and they just go, okay, we'll just put this here because it's plot convenience, and doesn't really make sense, but who cares?
Oh, okay, it's gone really.
Yeah, it's a trash fire, like someone said. Someone says I don't need to spoil it. It's just something wholesome. Yes. Actually, I've watched the second season of the anime and I've read ahead in the manga, but it's probably to stop at the first season. So yeah, first season I would give definitely 9 out of 10, but second season it's a 4. Really bad. Okay. Well, would you like to bring up one or?
Oh, let me find that. Let me find something. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about we will now begin ethics. Now that's a manga that probably needs more attention, to be honest. And
okay, could you type the name because dyslexia.
No problem. There we go. And basically, it's this teacher who teaches an ethics class, and he has these students, and they each have various problems now. Like, one of them was really attached to him, and saw him as a moral support, and he tries to help him, like, be his own person. And another one, like, was attacked by classmates, and he provides like an insight into, say, a condition that they might have not thought about before. It's really worth reading. I mean, the chapters are quite long, and the art style's quite unique, but it's worth a good read.
By the cover, it's pretty old, isn't it?
I don't think it's that old. I think it's still going, to be honest.
Oh, okay. And
yeah, it's ongoing. Yeah.
What's the main motives of this anime, or just like the general things you can expect in the chapter?
Expect a lot of drama, expect a lot of shocks, but then expect them to be quickly resolved in that chapter. So it doesn't string out something that happens in the chapter, multiple chapters. It will usually round up everything within that chapter.
Okay. So could you give me an example of a little bit of a story that goes on in one chapter?
Sure, I'll spoil maybe one of the stories. There's in one of the chapters, this girl is pressured to go to a mixer, and by her friends, and something happens at the mixer that she doesn't want to happen, or she wasn't ready for.
Okay.
Right, and she's going to throw herself off the roof.
Okay.
But the teacher stops her and basically says that a single moment in time can't define who you are. And if the worst comes to the worst, I'll always be there for you. And it resolves it quite quickly. Okay, I'm not saying that such a trauma should be resolved so quickly, but he's promised to help that person.
Wow.
Come wipe me. And he's a teacher. He's just a normal teacher, and that's a lot to expect from a teacher, isn't it? That they will be there constantly. But yeah, I thought it was something very interesting and kind of. Unique within the manga, and
that sounds really interesting, especially because I'm actually doing teaching as a job internship, and that actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it is
the
quite
story.
interesting. Yeah. I would recommend it to everyone to read. At least try and give the first couple of chapters a try. If you don't like it, then don't go beyond that. It's just going to be more similar.
You give it a score out of 10?
Oh, yeah, sure, I could give it a score. I mean, for the artwork, I guess you could do it a 7, right? But for the content, I would say it would push 9. Most chapters would push 9.
Jesus. Very good writing then.
It is really good writing, because although it goes a bit into philosophy and stuff like that, it doesn't do it in a boring way. It does it in a way that's part of the plot, if you understand.
Okay.
And so it makes sense.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Put it up there. I'll do my next one, and after that we'll probably talk about the main topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've read a little bit. Well, I couldn't find it, so I've just seen the pictures, but it looks really interesting. Hold up. Because I can't find. Okay, here we go. This is actually manga I haven't read. Well, I've read it, but I don't have a physical copy of it. And that really sucks because they didn't make any English paperbacks of it. Even though it's probably one of my favorite series and manga series. Okay. Oh. Well, it's called Place to Place, or Achikochi. And yes, that one will. Okay. And it's actually about pretty much rom-com again. And it's about these two characters that yeah, well, how we call it, that have the fun times in school, and oh, how to say it? It's pretty cute. It's also very wholesome. And how do I describe it? Every time I watch an episode of it, or if I read a chapter, I really feel something. Yeah, what do you say? I feel at home. I'll just say it like that. Yeah, it makes me pretty happy to read it. Definitely the art style in the manga could get a little, how do you say it? Could be upgraded, but it's a bit chibi-like. A little bit too much, but definitely the writing is pretty good because they write pretty interesting characters, and the dynamics make for some pretty good interactions between the two. Also, seeing here, people want me to pull out Redo of a Healer.
Oh my gosh, Redo of a Healer.
Can we do that?
Do it both.
I'll do it. Hold up, give me a second. That if you haven't read Achikochi, please do. It's very underrated. It has a cult following on Reddit, so probably Redo of a Healer, the shit show.
Oh, I made it one of my unlocks on my YouTube channel, but we can do it now if you want.
Oh, okay. Don't mind. I can keep it in.
No. Let's do it.
I need to find a cover that doesn't get me thrown off the platform. All that.
You don't want to fight. Oh gosh.
This is good. This is safe. There we go. Redo of a Healer. Well, where do we start?
Oh boy.
Actually, I've actually been up to date with the anime itself.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know how I do it. Because it's very, very over the top with the how do you say it? With the not so safe for work aspects.
No.
But really, it actually has some pretty good animation in it, and it actually has some pretty decent world building. Sad thing is that it's all centered around this one revenge plot with heavy quotation marks. The revenge doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, why don't you just kill him? Or also, really quick spoiler. So if you don't want to hear that, please go away.
I don't.
Okay.
I know what happens basically.
In the manga, after he regains his senses and starts plotting, I'm confused why he doesn't just kill them right then and there, instead of resetting the whole world, which is just a pain in the ass.
Problem with that's what I would say, honestly. Yeah, it's too much
Fucking and too little revenge.
Not enough revenge.
Yeah. I think it's also pretty weird. Not a lot of people on Twitter have actually been talking about it. Probably because they were a little mad at, I don't know why, but a little mad at Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is one of those weird things. It's very weird, Attack on Titan. And I think it was an interesting concept, but it went on too far.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen the last season, it's actually pretty good. Well, but the problem with this is, usually if this came out like last season, especially the manga is probably, if there's a manga, not a lot of people will be talking about it. That's just the thing with manga, especially not online. Or maybe they do, but it's very excluded. You don't really see it. But then when it gets adapted, usually either is the biggest praise or the biggest shitstorm. But I think because of Attack on Titan airing at the same season, it really is, what do you call it? It really went under the radar for most people.
I discovered Video Hero about a year ago. Yeah,
Ooh.
about a year ago. And I'm one of these people that will go down, like, if I want to know about a series, I'll go down like a rabbit hole trying to find like the original web novel and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And what I read, the synopsis of that web novel, I just read it like the beginning parts of the web novel. Well, and I thought to myself, okay, it sounds exactly like some other one that I've read before, but it just has it's crossing Shield Hero with NTR, the NTR Isekai. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, really, because remember in Shield Hero there was a lot of backlash for them, including some not for safe work things to the main characters.
Yeah.
And it's weird that when something like that happens in a tiny amount, that there's a whole shitstorm. But when this aired, barely anyone was talking about it, even though it's probably worse than what happened in Shield Hero.
Yeah, I think this is definitely worse than Shield Hero, and definitely worse than interspecies reviewers.
Yeah, oh shit, oh. Jesus.
Remember that? Yeah, it got cancelled, didn't it?
At first like 10 minutes when he went back to his revenge, I was like, oh, it's just gonna, brutally torture everyone. And I was like, okay, that could actually be pretty decent. But no, they had to add some other things in there.
Just slammed on the acceleration and don't stop.
Yeah. I actually really liked the visuals, but for the rest, it's just a bit too much for me.
Yeah, I like the animation. I think that, and I like the manga's artwork.
Yeah.
But the plot, no, I don't think. I don't think I could.
What is the most generic excuse for some edgy in it?
Yeah.
His party members don't get involved enough in his revenge. Well, I don't know. Pretty sure in later episodes or later chapters they actually do.
Yeah,
but
she basically merges the two personalities together later on. I'm not sure if it's the same in the light novels, but in the web novel, the two personalities kind of merge, and so she's kind of aware of what's going on.
Yeah. Wait, I thought when I was reading and watching it that halfway through, the main villainess, the girl, I thought she would regain her senses and also try to assassinate him, but it doesn't really happen, does it?
No.
And I think that would actually be an interesting turnaround, but can't have everything. Well,
no.
Visuals definitely 6, but story, there's a 5, 4.
Why to me? But yeah, okay.
You have something else, or do I need to pull another thing up?
Someone mentioned it. Can we call USB? Oh, okay.
Sensei.
We'll do the last one, and I'll write it for you so you can find it.
The teaching top would like to keep that private, if you don't mind. Oh no, it's the chat. Koharu no Hibi.
Yeah, Koharu no Hibi. It's quite old, and
this. I see a few things here that make me Well, I'll just pull up a manga chapter itself.
Yeah. Okay.
This pretty much, I think this pretty much shows what's it about. What's it about? Ugh.
Oh, well, it's about Yandere, isn't it? Obviously, and that was actually one of my very first steps into manga. It was Yandere's, and I was looking for, different tropes and things, and
Actually, never read this one. I don't think I've seen it. No.
No, it's not. It's not an anime. It's just 4 volumes. There's about 22 chapters, something like that. 22 chapters, and you could probably read it in all one setting. Basically, this girl, it has probably the most silly plot for a Yandere being attached to someone. He helps her pick up stuff that drop from her bag in a train. That's it, and that's why she becomes attached to it. And okay, I know the plot isn't great, but it's just one of those wholesome Yandere mangas that are so rare that I can't help but like it and give it a high score. So yeah, I actually own this. So yeah.
Okay, and is there anything special about it? Why you like it, or?
Well, as I said, it's probably a wholesome Yandere. I mean, there's not so much drama except 2 very short parts, and it's basically a complete story. It doesn't go on too long. It follows the relationship quite well. It doesn't string things out, if you wanted a love story, it's there. If you wanted basically a Yandere story, it's there. If you wanted a schoolyard story, it's there. It ticks a lot of boxes, basically.
Okay. Would you recommend it, or?
I would, but I would say that if you don't like Yandere, or if you don't like the art style, I probably would avoid it. But I like it. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but there we go.
Okay, and the score for the art style and the writing itself?
I would give it. the art style reminds me very much of the early 90s, late 90s maybe. That sort of like big eyes, and while it's not in vogue, I do think it has a place. So I would give it 7-ish? Yeah, 7-ish. Because I'm very fond of that style, because I started with stuff like that. And story, well, it doesn't really have a great story, to be honest, but I enjoy it. So if I was being impartial, I would give it a 5, but because I really like it, I have to give it like a 9.5.
Okay.
I'm not impartial on this story, I'm sorry, but...
Okay, I'll pull up one of mine, and then in the meantime you can look for one of yours. Here we go. This is like the 6th most read manga on my anime list, if I'm correct. Fly Me to the Moon. Ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually sat down and read it. Is that the one that's quite long?
Pretty sure it is. I've actually recently reread it. It's about pretty much husband and wife that get married after an accident, and just about the dynamics of marriage and stuff like that. And how do you say it? The visuals are stunning. Holy, I actually really like watching the visuals on the really like reading and seeing the beautiful artwork that's next to it. And also there isn't really an overarching story. Well, there is a start and an end, but they really put in little aspects of life which they explore, especially living with 2 people under one roof. And they do that in this kind of overhead view, so you can actually see what both parties are thinking and what's happening.
Okay. Is it like multi-person perspective then, or is it like a third-person perspective?
I don't really remember, because I've seen there's also, it recently got adapted, but I didn't really like the adaptation, not because it's bad story or bad animation, but it's because I gave it a little. Whenever I read manga, I usually give every character a voice in my head, and if that doesn't match it on the screen, on the anime itself, then it usually just downgrades the whole work for me.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
Well, I actually would give this like a 9, especially the yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's just wholesome, and there's some really good stories and um, illustrations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there are some manga out there that I read purely for the artwork, and some I purely read for the story. So I understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's like a Berserk for me. I don't
It's
really like the
Berserk,
story, but I really like the illustrations in the manga. Okay, here we go. If you could send the next one, or the one that we were originally going to do.
Oh, the one that we were originally going to do, Oji-san, Uncle and the
Nichi-san and Shota.
Yeah.
Ji-san and
Yeah, send it that.
yeah,
It actually has more chapters than there on its Pixiv.
True, I couldn't find anything about it online. I've actually tried to look, but I could only find the Brazilian version, which is really weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a Pixiv, the artist does.
PNG, give me that. Whoop.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's by Tunral. You can look on his. I mean, he's got a Twitter and he's got a Pixiv, and basically, the plot is basically there's mankind has collapsed basically, and the old guy is looking after the kid, and it's like it's done in such a strange way, because obviously you have the tropes of the ugly bastard and you have the tropes of the young person, and it turns those on its head. So it's not unwholesome at all, but looking at, if you were to glance at it surface level, you would think that it's very bad and things are going to go down, but it's completely does a 180 and completely changed it to something positive and wholesome. And when a manga does that, I think it's very special and very unique and deserves more attention.
Yeah, definitely. I could only see the visuals sadly, but I definitely, when I started looking through it, I definitely thought like, oh no, what's gonna happen? This is very bad. But then actually, even without the text, the visuals just show me like, oh, this dude's actually really caring and actually really tries to help these people.
Yeah. While there's not a lot of translated or scanlated chapters, in later ones there are additional characters. Like, there is another kid that he helps later on, and there's a cat and a girl that help him with the kid, you know. And again, it's taking such tropes such as, you know, yourself, the ugly guy, and it's taking, say, like,
it's like a subversion of expectations.
Yeah.
That's how you say it. Yeah,
exactly what I was gonna,
that's what I always say in the chat. But what do you think of these kind of manga that just takes the regular trope, like recently, like an isekai trope with a good example is Konosuba. They take the isekai trope and they completely throw it on the head with not making Kazuma overpowered and giving him the most useless allies there are.
Yeah, I quite like that. I like when it's you know, it throws something on its head. I think that it does need more attention.
Yeah.
But I would say that later on, Kazuma does get overpowered. So he doesn't you know, stay that way forever like Kazuma does. But yeah, I mean, I do like it. I do like that sort of thing when it takes one thing and flips it to be another. Yeah.
I also think it makes for some really creative dialogue choices, or dialogue. Sorry. But I think if you can take something like an isekai or a typical harem anime and just make it flip upside down, you can explore the absurdities of what's been normalized in the medium.
Yeah, and sometimes I think when it's self-aware that it knows it's making fun of such a trope and it doesn't spin out for too long, I think that's good. You know, if it's like it flips it and it doesn't flip it so much that it becomes repetitive.
Yeah.
Understand?
It needs to actually stick to the whole shtick of being pretty much a parody of what is normalized. But if they just do it half-half, it becomes pretty boring, I would say.
Yeah. If if it doesn't keep up the you know, if it just does it once or maybe twice or 3 times, or you know, sometimes it's just repeating the same subversion over and over again. That's repetitive.
Okay. I haven't actually read like the text, of course. So could you quickly remind me of what exactly is about what's in the text, or because I don't have the context. I only see the pictures, and you just said something about post-apocalyptic, or did I read that?
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh, whoa, I did not see that.
Set in like a post-apocalyptic. Well, basically, mankind has fallen. It doesn't exactly say why, but it says mankind has fallen, and there's very few people left, and those that are want the kid for some reason, and I don't know, because it hasn't got into why they want the kid for some reason. Maybe they're going to eat him, but the old guy always protects him. Like, he's not his actual parent, he's just some guy who's found the kid, and then he finds the other one, and then he finds that girl and the cat, and they like work together to protect the little kid. And the old guy, it does seem to have some sort of weird supernatural power, like he knows when the kid's in trouble, and he's always there to protect him.
Do you think they're gonna continue with just this wholesomeness, I would say? Or do you would you think it would be I was gonna say it, would you think it would be a good idea if they just went, okay, and now there are monsters or something? Or would that actually damage the original artwork?
Well, as it's very scratchy, the artwork, I think it has got a volume published from what I could find out, but I think that it's going to stay on the wholesome side, but there is going to be more dangers that the kid's going to have to face.
Yeah.
And I mean, it reminds me of another one that's like, it's got like a robot girl and a scientist who made her. It's very similar to that one. Like, it's very similar to that one in the States. That
I was thinking about My Teenage Robot thing is from Cartoon Network, but that probably isn't it.
No, it's not that one. I can't remember what the title is. It's very similar to that one.
If it would continue like this, would you give it like 10 out of 10, or just...
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, obviously the art style isn't the best, but I think that it deserves a very high score because it subverts that expectation. And
yeah.
I think that, as you said, you know, in Konosuba or this, or I don't know, as Chat said, Monster Musume, it took the Kenku Cross Monster Girls and it turned them. Well, okay, they're still ecchi, but it's fairly wholesome.
Yeah.
It's a fairly wholesome romantic comedy.
Okay. Well, I think the art style actually complements this, if I would say, because they're not going for the whole haha, he's the typical boss, so he's going to graphically do something to him. But I think the simplicity of it just makes it pop out as this dude's just trying to stay in the background and make sure nothing happens to this kid.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, that's why he's got like this weird, obvious supernatural power, because he always seems to know when there's someone going to harm him, or there are other dangers, like he falls over and he's there with a pillow to break his fall. It's like, it's never explained, but it's wholesome enough that you can sort of like hand wave the the superpower of it, you know? Okay,
I'm gonna put it up here.
Okie.
And then I'll do one more I have myself.
Right.
And if I did this right, it would be this one. Here we go. Also one I'm currently have a physical copy of.
Oh, it's Toilet Burn Hanako-kun,
yeah. I really like this one, holy shit. I'm usually not really into the typical supernatural, but I actually think it makes for some pretty interesting dynamics between Hanako and I don't know what her name is, the other girl.
Oh yeah, I know which one. You mean the main girl, yeah?
Yeah. And I also think, especially in later chapters, it has some what's it called? It really gives. It starts off with pretty episodic chapters. Like we have the intro, then we have one school mystery that we need to defeat and solve out. But then halfway through, it actually goes into more of a story arc, I would say. Of no, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's gonna be a villain, and you actually never see him, even if you watch the anime. Actually, he isn't even in the opening, in the intro, until in the opening until he actually appears in the anime itself, and then he's added into the OP. Which is also something that happens in the manga itself, because you almost never hear of what happened. You get some faint clues that this villain is this person, and this villain is trying to do this. But until he actually appears, you never. It's quite surprising, actually, and it's really enjoyable to read.
Yeah. I mean, it's taking the Hanako myth, isn't it? Which Hanako is like a female ghost, and it turns into a boy. So we've got this to start with, you know, the first thing that it flips, and then you know, I guess they've turned him into some sort of like wish, like a leprechaun creature, haven't they? Because he can grant wishes if you know, because he grants the girl's wish obviously in the beginning, and then he grants her a second one, and he helps.
Because also like that they don't just well, it would have ended pretty quickly if Hanako just granted her the wish, but I like it that they actually set it up set it up like they're now connected after the 2 wishes that she makes, and it actually makes for some pretty how to say it, pretty interesting dynamics between Hanako and I don't know, Daikon leg lady. Pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah. Actually, I would, especially I like the visuals, really. Especially when the school mysteries arrive, and the visuals go through the roof for me. And also, the story is actually pretty wholesome and fun to read.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the visuals, because if you look at the uniform here, that's quite an oldish uniform on the actual on Hanako here, because nowadays they don't tend to have this sort of like hat, and they don't have the I mean, they still have a military-esque
I was about to say military.
Well, it's based on a military uniform, actually. These uniforms are because I mean, we could go into it, but it would be rather like story time about the history of why they're like that, and it would move away from the actual plot of the manga, which I did really like the artwork in this, and I thought when they translated it into the manga, especially the opening, I thought that was amazing. Really good. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Also really thought, I was thinking about the design and what's it called, the world building of the world of Hanako, Toliban Hanako-kun. And I actually really like that they don't, they say that, okay, the villains or the school mysteries, they're not quite easily defeated. You need to actually trick them, and there's a defined set of rules, like you have to destroy their most precious thing, and you have to, and you're pretty much useless inside their little area. I like that they keep to that, and they actually use this to make some great scenes.
I mean, it's also very Alice in Wonderland-ish, I would say. You know, if you're familiar with American McGee's Alice?
Yeah, wait, Alice in Wonderland.
No, American McGee's Alice in Wonderland. It was a computer game.
American Geese? American McGee? Alice?
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland.
What was this?
It is really trickery.
Oh, I'm getting kind of scared. This looks really scary. Right. I'll put it in for the people at home. What's this? I mean, it looks like this. Well, this is not what you meant.
I mean, it reminds me of the very similar visceral uniqueness of it.
Yeah,
it's a really good game.
It's dope as fuck game. I never heard it. I should probably play it. Is it a horror? Is it a horror?
It is.
Yeah, that's probably why I can't really take horror. I'm a little crybaby when it comes to it.
Oh no. It's pretty good, But as I said, I like when there's unique artwork. I like when it takes something, say, like it takes the Alice in Wonderland stories and it turns it into something else completely. You know, I think that when it does that, it's very unique, and it should happen more than it does, and maybe that's that's also why it's special, because it doesn't happen very often.
Okay. Well, you also read this one. I would honestly give it like a 9, purely for visuals and story alone.
Ooh,
That might be a little bit too high for you.
No, I would say that
I'm easily swayed.
Yeah, visually it's up there. It's probably one of the most visually stunning mangas ever. But I would say that the mysteries do become a sort of like monster of the week after a while. It's like, okay, and there are. I mean, it's great that there's like rules set to the monsters and everything, but it does feel very monster of the week sometimes. Okay. Yeah.
That usually, I don't really mind monster of the week myself, as long as you create interesting scenarios and interesting monsters.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad manga at all, but it's really good. I'm just gonna say that if you don't like an episodic type of, repeating monsters, okay, the rules might be different in their worlds, but you need to destroy the same thing, similar thing each time.
Okay.
It might not be for everyone.
Yeah. If you, honestly, if I would choose 2 of these for someone to actually read, it would definitely be Hanako-kun and Hachikochi. Purely because of visuals and story writing myself.
I probably would pick Hanako-kun. Simply because of the art style. It's so unique and it's so great that I think everyone needs to look at that at least once, and probably ethics.
Yeah. And I know this is more of a manga review, but also I think the what's called the anime really did the manga justice with the art style, especially with the monsters themselves. Let's see. Do you have another one that you want to talk about?
I just want to say, do you mean that because there is an episodic series that I think Jack's referencing, and is that the one with the really creepy intro? Oh gosh.
That's not it.
Definitely, they're only about 10 minutes long, and they're like monster stories there. Like, yeah, I mean, I quite like that because it's not very long. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I can't remember what it's called now, and that's gonna bug me.
Okay, actually, I have another one I want to talk about. Just trying to hear this. I don't think this is really popular. I'm just noticing almost every single one of the stories I show are rom-coms and are very curly. Oh well, here we go. There's another one I really enjoy. Wait, let me get the English.
Oh yeah, I really enjoy that one. Oh yeah.
Irumaku or something. Actually really like this one. I don't know why. It's really like, for the people who don't know, it's about this little blue boy right here. I don't remember his name. He pretty much somehow finds his way into a demon school, and pretty much the very fun thing about it is the first roll call in that school is every single person next to him singing how they want to destroy every human, and and also creates a pretty cool dynamic of this dude trying to find friends between pretty much monsters, at least to his eyes.
Yeah.
And he finds himself being around the 2 outcasts of the school themselves.
Yeah. I mean, you just make more friends later on. I mean, I'm not sure how much you get of it, to be honest, or if you just watch the anime.
I've watched both, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or I've done both. And actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know why. It also has some pretty good artwork. I did really like it the first half, but the second part of the show and halfway through the manga is still going, but like a few chapters and books in, it started to draw more towards the female audience with more sexualization of the male character, which I personally didn't enjoy, but I can see why some people like it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Just because in one part of the anime itself, just becomes, I don't know how to say it. They take a lot of time going between these 2 new friends, and they present it in a way that's like hinting towards them being, them being a little closer than normal friends. And I was like, okay, it's pretty good. It's good. It's not my taste though, sadly.
Actually, this was something that I was in a Scandination group with, to be honest, and I'm not sure if I should discuss it really.
Oh no, you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
There was a bit of drama going on behind the scenes in
Okay.
Scandinations, and yeah, but this was one that I don't know. I have a special attachment to, just simply because I was in that group, and simply because the people who were originally doing it, they were. I think it was more MTL and less actually. But I quite like the character dynamics between Irma and Clara and Az.
Yeah.
Because you've got the correct age.
Yeah, there's also you got it gets a little bit repetitive, I think, near the end, because maybe that's just me, but Clara and I don't know what the pink dude, Esther or something. I don't know. It's the main dynamic is of course that the one is an idiot and the other one's very loyal. But at first, the first few books, it was actually pretty good. But after that, I don't know, just didn't sit with me anymore.
Yeah, I think it does suffer from not knowing where it wants to go. It's like it's got a story, high serialization, and it's got quite good numbers. I mean, there's a second season coming as well. So it gets trapped in its own self. And I think that's a problem with some mangas.
Also, they kind of at the first season of the anime is loosely based off the first few books, I think. And they you can definitely see that they're really trying hard to end the story arc, or at least move on to the next story. But it gets kind of stuck because they don't really know how to create a good dynamic or a good situation to do that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, some of the characters are very well known, like Amy, the school president.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah, I know her.
Yeah, her dynamic is like she knows he's a human, and they have that like weird connection where he's reading those books to her, and later on.
He's reading the manga to her.
Yeah, and she thinks that he's actually interested in her, and I mean, that joke does get a bit repetitive, and Clara is jokes, and Az is he's a super genius in magic, but he's also eternally loyal to Irma because of a misunderstanding.
Yeah, also think the dynamic between those two is that it was fun to see at first, but after like 2 times of reading the story for her, it gets kind of boring. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that if you like kind of school, like drama type, well not drama, exactly, school comedy type things, that have got like an underlying plot that might not go anywhere for a long time, give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna put this up here. I would definitely give this like a 7.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good, but it's nowhere near the rest that we have here.
No, I do like the art style, and I do like the way they kept.
Well, I like the world and really the art style, but sometimes the situations they put the characters in just get repetitive.
Yeah, and what's the servant's name? That is
servant's name. He's the teacher. The teacher is his servant, isn't it?
No, he's got like a grandfather.
Grandfather.
They've got like a house, like a.
Oh yeah, that he gets adopted by the principal. Yeah.
I don't think like that. It's someone elusive.
It's a bit how do you say it? It's a bit oh, now I remember how he gets into the team in school. I'm thinking of something else. Doesn't he get sold off by his parents? Yeah.
His parents.
Wait, who am I thinking about then? There was also one that but there's something else then, I think. I can't remember. There's this one manga that's pretty much the same, also a human dude in a demon school, and he actually finds his way through it because his parents actually find a letter of an invitation to the school.
Are you thinking of Rosario Vampire?
Is it Rosa? Kapachu vampire. Raziro vampire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that.
manga and the anime are so they're very different. They're
I've
very
never
different.
seen the manga. I've seen all of the animes.
Yeah.
Wait. I'll just put it here. Here we go. I don't know. It's a bit tasteless for me, but that might just be me. I can see why some people like it.
There are characters in that are really good, but they're vastly different in the two versions, you see. And so if you've seen the manga, anime, right, you might not like them in the manga, and vice versa.
Ah, okay. I wouldn't know because I haven't read manga of this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're all out there. I mean, Tsuneki? I'm not sure of his name.
Tsukune.
Yeah, Tsuneki.
Oh wait, that's someone else. Hold up. I don't know. Now, continue.
Well, yeah, he's very different in both versions, isn't he? Because I mean, I'm not sure if I should spoil it for people, but
no one's gonna watch this.
I was probably quite old, so yeah, he becomes like a vampire in the like a Dampier or something.
Ah, okay.
So, because Mocha gives him her blood at one point to save his life.
Yeah, I've actually seen that, and it's sure in the manga and in the anime it ended like big battle between him and the dad of the Mocha, something like that.
Mocha's father, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool, he can lend her powers, but no side effects or something. Just oh no, I'm hurt. Maybe it's explored more in the manga itself, but
yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's quite different. The two versions are quite different. I think.
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's got quite good character design. I think it's quite old now. I'm not sure when it exactly was out though.
Wait, let me check. Pretty sure it's like 2006, I would say. Okay, maybe it's a little bit too much. Also, the main character. If I look at like pictures of the manga, he looks a little bit more confident, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's not so I wouldn't say spineless exactly, but weak-willed sort of. Because in the anime, he's more saved by inner Mocha all the time, whereas later on in the manga, he saves himself and he saves Mocha. So.
Yeah, it says here like 2006, I think.
Sorry, Vampire wasn't a pure. Oh, well, not quite.
2004 to 2010, first Japanese series.
Oh, okay.
And then the anime was created in 2009, it says here. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it was split into two concourse, was the manga was, so there was the first and the second one, you know.
When my sister first got into... okay. That's actually, yeah. I know, it's probably not a good start if you want to get into harem, because it's a bit over the top, and yeah, it really goes for the chapter by chapter edginess, you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have an overall story or a good climatic ending to put a stop to the series.
I mean, I'd say the manga's got a more satisfying ending than the anime, to be honest. I would say that.
Okay. I'm gonna put it up there. I would give it a 5 or 6, but not higher.
I would say you'd probably have to rate them, the manga and the anime separately. And
yeah.
You know,
if I hear it like that, I probably should.
Yeah.
Do you have another one to discuss, or?
Are you familiar with another one that's similar to that about the guy who keeps the vampire girl's secrets?
Vampire girl's secret.
Yeah, like it's like
Is it only manga or an anime as well?
No, it's both. There's both, and I can't remember what the title is but it's very similar to the two previous ones.
Secret Vampire Girl.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually, I am. Wait. Actually, it's something. Actually, I am a vampire. Is it with the green hair?
Yeah.
Okay, I got him here.
Error Manga Sensei. Nobody would like my review on an Error Manga Sensei. I would flame it beyond belief.
It's bad. That's all you need to know.
And
It's like if you ever watched Orimo, where Orimo was actually, you know, it was a good story with some, you know, some pretty bad incest moments. But Eren Manga Sensei is just a incest trope, which is not fun to see or watch.
Incest can be wholesome occasionally, but
Yeah,
it really depends on
they really didn't do that there.
Yeah.
Here we
I
go.
like the artwork of the light novels. I think that the artist is phenomenal, and of the of both Eren Manga Sensei and Orimo.
Yeah,
I think he's really good, but I couldn't give this to.
you can definitely see the difference between writers in the series. Series.
Yeah.
Because the first one actually had interesting writing and good visuals, and the other one is just good visuals, and that's about it.
Yes, I would agree with that analysis.
But
Yeah.
with this one, yeah, I've actually seen this.
You've seen it, yeah?
It gets pretty repetitive with the haha, she's actually a vampire, so try to hide it. Yeah.
It's pretty trippy in the manga at some point with the whole time travel thing.
Time travel. Oh, I don't think I've been that far.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
Up.
I actually don't have read it or have seen it a lot. I'm actually trying to look for a manga cover right now.
Yeah.
Because I think the manga is much better than the anime if I only look at a few panels because.
Yeah, and the art style is really good. I really like it, and
There we go.
the author is doing Reaper Girl now, and Reaper Girl.
Reaper Girl. Wait, is that that's the webcomic or?
No, it's an actual manga. I think it's on. It's not shown in Jump, but it's definitely one of those magazines that you can subscribe to an app for a single page.
Oh, yeah, that's probably webcomic. Reaper Girl webcomic.
Echima Masuka.
Just gonna type webcomic. Is it about? Is it a lot of red and like red and black with the visuals or?
Not that I think that's something else. But
I am the Grim Reaper is what I'm referring to. Yeah, I'm referring to I am the Grim Reaper, but that's probably a different one.
Yeah, it's probably a different one.
And on the topic of that, I'll just quickly grab it because it's actually pretty good. It's not a manga, it's a webcomic, but no, these days those things are pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean,
it's getting really close to being the same.
I'll have to say I don't enjoy webcomics, some of them, as much as I enjoy manga. Especially the manhwas, for some reason. Manhwas just, well, Korean
Mine was
manga.
from Korean, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there's too much drama in them. You know, it's obviously very soap opera-ish in certain manhwas that that people have recommended to me, like,
I think that's just because of the culture there.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the art styles can be really great on both formats, but
just if I remember, I could be talking out my ass, but if I remember correctly, they don't really how to say, they don't really enjoy self-deprecating jokes, I think.
No.
I could be wrong. I heard that once, but that could be wrong. I'll just put this up here. Yeah, this series, I don't know. It's a good watch if you have nothing better to do.
And I will agree with the Demon Slayer brother-sister relationship.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. And then I'll just pop in I am the Grim Reaper because that's something very, very cool, especially artwork. It's a webcomic. And it's pretty much about. Actually, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's pretty much about this one Reaper that gets confronted by Satan. It's like, hey, instead of going to hell because you've done some pretty fucked up shit, you actually go to the 9th layer, and she has lost the mem, so she's like, oh, what did I do? I have no clue. And it's pretty interesting to see her discover the horrible things she has done. And the main dynamic is she has to at least murder one sinner every day. And she never actually gets late, so it isn't like, aha, we need to use this plot device so she has some epic moments. But it's more like they use the sinner the Sinner thing. You can only see in the series. You can only see Sinner by an X on their chest. That's why she has it. And you're like, oh, okay. So this woman is a sinner. She kills her, and then later she has to go to the the justice system in hell. And later she finds out, oh, she just stole some snails from a restaurant, but since those were expensive and they were like up to $10,000, she's going to hell. And,
oh my gosh.
yeah, and she's like, oh, she's sinner, so she probably killed someone, so I shouldn't feel bad for killing her. And then you actually see her regret some of the kills she makes. It's really interesting.
I really like the artwork there.
Yeah, oh, it's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, it's really. I really like the contrast of the red and the white and the black here. I mean, it's amazing what they can, what people can do with the various things.
I'll put another one up. There you go. Actually, really looks good.
Yeah, it really does. I really like that.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up there because you just sent me one. I'll put it in.
Yep.
Getting kind of crowded up here. Hold up.
It is, yeah.
Copy link. Put it in here. Right click. Save as.
Yeah.
JPEG. Whoop. Hey. There you go. I never heard of this one, so you're gonna need to help me.
Well, it's quite a new series, to be honest. It's not been out very long. But yeah, it's by the same illustrator as the Vampire one, I believe. And it's being serialized at the same time in Japanese and in English. So you can read it on you can only read the latest chapters on the Biz or the website. Their website. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Just find it. Manga Plus website.
Manga Plus, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he's actually he's actually the Reaper, and she was cosplaying, and like she uses his powers. Like he goes into her body and like fights monsters. I mean, it's a bit one of those like power up shows, like I don't want to say Power Rangers exactly, but like borrowing the power of someone else to do their job, basically.
Okay, so it's kind of like using a familiar, or
yeah, like a familiar, yeah. But it's one of those things that the artwork is just because I really like the guy who did I think he did either like the Most Secret Vampire or one of the others that we talked about. It's such a unique style of artwork that it's really great. Yeah.
Okay.
And the story's not so bad, honestly. And I think my computer's just going funny. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Is it heating up? Don't worry about it. But yeah, what kind? I guess I could say I don't know anything about this, but
Hello.
oh, hello. I think we lost him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my computer doesn't seem to be responding to me at the moment, so I can't see what's going on.
Do you still hear me?
It's sort of frozen. Yeah, I can still hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you before, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, then again, is there any similar manga to this that I might know of? Because I have no clue what I'm getting myself into.
Shy? Are you familiar with the
Shy.
series? That's a sort of superhero one.
Shy manga. Shy, never heard of it.
No, like one of the superheroes. Like, I think it's done in like a more realistic way. I don't know if you're familiar with the Boys series.
The boy, yes, of Amazon.
Basically, if a person's got these superpowers, the one of them has to constantly relies on basically drinking, because they can't save everyone all the time, can they? And they know that every time they go to save someone else might die. And I think it just it approaches it in a very similar way. So
Okay. So you get a lot of conflict between choosing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just how to say, it's that they're not perfect. And when you have a character that actually has flaws and actually has dimensions to the character beyond, like I don't know, Superman or something, like a Superman who's there all the time, and you know, but they are a hero and they have flaws, and it's good. Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
They're not a two-dimensional character. They have inner thoughts, inner feelings, and they battle against them. Yeah.
Okay. And would you rate this something like it's 6 or pretty high?
Well, because it's fairly new, it's a bit hard to say without more chapters. So I would say if you like his earlier work, the My Secret Grandpa, I say yeah, give it a shot. If you didn't like My Secret Grandpa, you probably won't like this because it's using some ecchi moments.
It's forcing a scene, or am I saying that wrong?
But I would say that there are moments where it's not needed, or the artist is just doing it for
the shock value.
Yeah, because it's in that, in that magazine, shouldn't you? Manga Plus, you're on Manga Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Ghost Girl is the Japanese title, I believe.
Ghost Girl, okay. I'll look into it.
Yeah, it's translated as Ghost Reaper Girl.
Let's see. Not sure if you have another one, because I'm actually looking at my anime list right now, and I don't know. What's it called? It's not that's not a manga holder. It's just an anime. I don't know. Wait, hold up. Give me a second. I'll look in my closet. Yeah.
I mean, maybe someone in chat or something has a.
The Blue Exorcist. The Blue Exorcist. There's also
Yes.
something I really like. Give me a second. I'll just pull it up right now. Here we go. Yes. There we go. Probably have seen this one. Maybe the manga or the anime.
Possibly.
I mean, it's pretty much about a small family, family that's adopted family that lives with a priest, and we later find out that the main character is actually a vessel for the demon lord, and instead of giving the demon lord a new body, he uses his powers to destroy like his army a little bit.
Oh, that's a bit like the original Devilman, isn't it?
Devil, yeah, I think. I'm thinking of Devilman Crybaby. That's something else. The original Devilman could be.
Yeah. Talking about the one that was 90s.
Something has some, some forced ecchi moments, but those are really rare actually, and it's actually really good visual and. No, it's not on par with the Demon Slayer episode 13, pretty sure. But it gets there. It sometimes really gets there. The visuals. That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the art style of the of Demon Slayer. I think it's it's really great.
Well, we'll just
it's really stunning, especially the anime.
We'll just go over there instantly then. We'll just talk about Demon Slayer then.
Oh, no. I mean, the Blue Exorcist, it looks quite cool. It reminds me a bit of Noragami, the style.
Noragami, yes. I actually think it's loosely based on that. At least, that's what I would say. Noragami, isn't that with the what's it called, with the god?
Yeah, he's the god of unluckiness or something, or poverty, or no, that's his girlfriend. That's the goddess of poverty or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I read a bit of it and watched a bit of it, but
I guess it does look like, now that I look at it, it kind of looks like the art style itself, but the story is different. It's very different.
I didn't get much into it, but it does remind me of the art style of Noragami.
Okay. Well, I would definitely give this a 7 because it's pretty good, and especially art style. But now we're going to the big man. Here we go. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Might have been one of the most hyped series, especially for non-anime watchers.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people when that initial 13th episode aired. A lot of people were closet dweebs or didn't really post on their social media about anime. Suddenly came out like, hey, this is really good. You should watch it.
Yeah. You see, Demon Slayer again. I think it suffered from something in the last arc. It's concluded now, obviously, and while it hasn't been animated, the last arc is basically just one massive battle.
And I'm not at the end of the manga, but
oh well.
No, it sounds good. No, I don't care. Honestly, don't care. So.
I mean, the artwork is phenomenal all throughout the series, and it's worth reading. But I think that the last battle arc goes on for a little too long. It goes from one battle to another to another to another.
It's getting, I noticed that, especially prior to episode 13, there wasn't really anything too good about it. There's some really good visuals, but it was really, how you said earlier, monster of the week. I would say.
Yeah.
And then after that 30th episode, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm sitting down and watching it all.
Yeah.
And I don't think how the manga handled that, the monster of the week aspect.
No, it doesn't. I mean, the ending is really, it's like, it is both satisfying and it is both not at the same time, if you would understand.
Okay.
Like, the characters get reincarnated much later on, in like the final chapters, and I don't know if you're familiar with like the little drawing she does of like them setting Monday.
I think I do, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah, well, I think that in the last bit you see them at the school, so you see like them at school. So.
Okay. And also, see someone here, Demon Slayer is good but overrated. I can see why you say that.
Yeah, I can say that. I say that there are. I think it's been hyped a bit too much.
I think if no one was talking about it, most people wouldn't be as hyped for it as they were. Yeah. But I think a lot of people got caught up in the hype and they were like, okay, everyone likes this, so it must be like god tier.
Yeah. I mean, the train arc that they did the movie of, apparently that's doing really well. You know, in the Japanese cinema, apparently it's done much better than other animated films.
What's it called? I think also the beginning of Demon Slayer is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they're not like, oh no, sorry, I said it wrong. How Tanjiro, pretty sure that's how you say it, handles the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Because instead of being like, okay, every demon needs to die, he's actually kind of respectful and thinks about the things. He knows that the demons must die because they have done some terrible things. He's not going around and bashing everyone in the head. He actually, if he sees that you're not a threat, he will just mercifully kill you, and I actually really like that.
Yeah, because he does that to one of the spider demons, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's what I'm referencing actually. Yeah. But he also does, like in the beginning of the first like tournament arc, I would say, what you could call it, with the school where he finds the big monster that has killed a lot of his teacher students.
Yeah.
He doesn't just slice him up and stabs him 50 times, but actually gives him one clean swipe and he respects his death. Yeah, that's also pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I quite like the dynamics between the characters in Demon Slayer, but like, don't get attached to anyone. That's what I would say to. But
yeah. So, well, I would definitely give this like 8. I think it most people would say 10, but I think that's just because everyone was talking about it at least, or maybe still is.
Maybe 7.
Maybe 7. Yeah, depends. I don't know how good the art style gets in the manga itself, but
yeah, I mean the art's really good. It's not the art; I think that the last battle arc is too much.
Okay.
They should have spaced it out a bit, because they just go from one boss to the head boss basically, and then the head boss comes again. It's like, how many times do you have to kill the head boss?
Let's see. I'm still looking at something. I'm not sure if you have something else to talk about, or if
Did
we're
you
all
ever
out.
read Chainsaw Man?
What? Sorry?
Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw?
Chainsaw Man, yeah.
Could you send it in chat so I can look it up?
Sure. Because this has got an anime. This finished the
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Never. Wait. Sounds like a bad movie.
It is very almost like that.
Manga. Here we go. What the? Okay, I see a dude with a chainsaw for a head.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have some explaining to do.
Okie dokie.
There we go. Okay, now tell me, what's it about?
It's about this guy called Denji, and he basically has a pet demon who's a chainsaw demon. He gets killed by some mafiosos, some yakuzas, and then the chainsaw demon who is with him replaces his heart and enables him to become the pictured Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Where he goes and uses this power to fight other demons and, well, basically kill them.
Okay, and is he out for revenge or is it just
No,
killing?
no, he's basically a very simple character. He just wants a good food, and his motivations are, I'm not sure how, what we can say about it, but they're very basic, basic needs. He only basically wants to eat decent food, live a happy life, have a roof over his head, you know.
Okay.
And despite how he looks, Denji's only 16.
Oh, okay.
You know, but he's never been to school because his father was basically in debt to the Yakuza, and then they passed it on to Denji, and then the government basically picks him up and he works for the government devil extermination bureau.
He just wants food and destroy the demons he sees. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple character, but he's a very sympathetic character. Because again, it's one of those manga don't get attached to anyone.
Yeah, I'm looking at the art style right now, and I don't think I can put it in.
No.
It's let's just say if you look at this cover, it's pretty much that, but instead of green, it's black and red.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I think it's worth a read. It's worth a read. It's finished its first basically story arc now.
Okay.
It's finished its first run, and it's gonna have a second run now where he's in school.
Okay. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, don't get attached to anyone except Denji here.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's a very simple character. I think when the anime comes out, it'll either people will hate it.
Are they actually making one, or
Yeah, they're making one. Yeah.
making one and it's already announced, or
Yeah, it was announced not long ago, I think.
long ago? Shit. Okay. I'm actually trying to look for something I had earlier. I can go for a joke one if you really want to, but
Yeah, sure, let's do a comedy.
yeah, you know what? This was my. Keep in mind, when I was 15, this was my guilty pleasure.
We never learn, yeah.
Punchline. The anime, the manga. I don't think there's a manga, but I'll look for it. Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this with someone for a very long time, because you don't know what kind of shit show it is.
I mean, I quite like funny dumpster crashes, to be honest.
Okay, well, I'll just pick this out as a picture. I should probably get this one because it actually features the main character. If I can download it correctly, not with webbing. There we go, punchline. Okay. Well, how do I start? I should just explain what happens in the beginning, just so you get a feel about what happens. Okay, I should probably put it a little bit lower because I saw something that's not so safe for work over there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a shit show. Okay, well, what happens? First, it starts with just a regular guy sitting in a bus, and nothing bad's going on. He's just looking outside. Legit. 3 seconds after the intro has ended, the bus gets hijacked, and this guy puts a gun to his head, and then he walks away from him. He just got scared, and then someone in the bus transforms into a magical girl, and he starts fighting this terrorist, and then she loses, and then the main character, how do I say it? The main character gets a good view of her underneath, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the moment he sees it, his hair starts to spark like you can see here, and he sneezes, and then he suddenly has superpowers and starts murdering pretty much everyone. The terrorist at least.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets worse. And then the bus crashes into the lake because they were on a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the female character that just got rescued by him drags him onto the shore, and over there his soul leaves his body for some reason. So, and then something takes over his body, and then the person that's now in his body goes with the girl to the house, because apparently they were roommates. Never explained, just instantly. And then you can see the ghost of the dude that's following along and is trying to get back into his own body, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
And then they get home. Then he sees another female, and then he bleeds out of his nose. He passes out, and the whole world explodes.
That sounds insane.
Yeah, and after that, a cat ghost appears, and it's like, oh hey, you passed out because you were pretty much too horny, and thanks to you, the world is now ended. But don't worry, I can reset it. And then he pretty much has to figure out why the world is ending and why. And whenever he sees something, what I just said, it happens. It's a train wreck.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, I'm not gonna put this up there because it has some not safe for work.
Yeah.
But it's really weird. Let's see. I see here in chat. Boku tashi wa benkuyoi.
Basically, we can't study.
We can't. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
We can't study manga. I've seen the anime of it. Never seen some YouTube videos about it. That it's pretty good. Harem.
Yeah, it's pretty good harem. Yeah, it's really good. I would say that there's an ending for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an ending for everyone. So no matter what team you are, there's an ending.
Doesn't only one person win though?
No, because he wrote several endings. He wrote
So
several
endings.
endings.
Well, isn't there a main ending?
I think Uraka had the first one, so technically it could be Uraka.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Multiple endings? I don't know what I think about that. I mean, you could say it's good because you please everyone, but I don't know. I think it would be much better and probably it would be a lot more popular if people start to talk about why the other one should have won. There's a little drama online.
Well, if you look at the... have you ever heard of the quintuplets one?
Head of the?
The 5-toed one, the quintessential quintuplets.
Quintessential...
Quintuplets. It's similar. It was around the same time, and that had a sort of winner, but it was a dream. So
can't really find it.
I'll send you it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in We Can't Study, I quite like We Can't Study.
I know I've not finished it yet. Mainly because I don't know. It was my cup of tea, I guess.
I mean, I think it's worth reading.
Reading over watching, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the art style, so. Oh, damn it! That was the one.
Quintessential Quinn.
I just need that thing. Yeah, but yeah. I quite like...
wait. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was the same one.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
I quite liked characters.
Isn't it pretty much the same? Like both of them are substitute teachers or something? Or am I completely wrong about that?
No, I think that's a different one. Those are like five identical sisters, and he's like a guy who has to tutor them so they can try and pass their exam.
It's kind of also the same as Rent a Girlfriend. I've seen
I
it.
have a lot to say about Rental Girlfriend, but none of it would be
Good. Oh, well, we'll do that last then.
I didn't like Rental Girlfriend.
Let's put these up here because I don't. Do you have something to say about these? Because honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like that one, but I guess that the ending really satisfies no one because he pulled that "It's a Dream" at the end. So.
Oh, do they really do that?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Oh well, that's. I don't know. I don't like it when they do that.
No.
Kind of like. Was it Zelda? No, it's not Windmaker. The Zelda game also does that, pretty sure. If I'm not mistaken. I don't like that sort of stuff. Like, why was I here then?
Yeah,
it wasn't real.
Why can't you have committed to
Yeah.
the ending that you wrote before you turned it to
I think it's just a lazy way to end. Because
if
you can't write an ending, it's like, it's just a dream, so it doesn't matter what happened.
Yeah,
I guess the only way you could really use it if it's like in a better context, like maybe a horror story or something that maybe goes into psychology. That could be. You could end with it was just a dream over there, but not with maybe a post-apocalyptic or romance or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean he marries one of them in the dream sequence, and everyone thought that character had won the one with the green ribbon. And
they just didn't want any losers.
Yeah, he basically didn't want any losers. He said basically, you can see it as a Yotsuba win, you can see it as a dream sequence, and he wasn't committing. And I think I think We Can't Study did it slightly better because even though there was originally one winner, you can pick the ending that you want. You can pick the fancy ending. You can pick the childhood friend. You can pick Fumio. You can pick the other one. I can't remember her name.
Okay. Then we'll probably do one more to finish it. I don't know if you want to do Rent a Girlfriend or something else.
I could do Rental Girlfriend, but I've only read 50 chapters of it, so.
Well, you said you had a lot to say, so.
Yeah, I mean.
I want to hear the shitstorm.
I do not like the main character.
I do not like the main. The main dude or the main.
Yeah, I just did not like him.
Yeah, I see why.
In the very first
he's the biggest simp.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's like, okay, I understand that you're in a situation with your parents and everything.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just owe up to it, man.
Yeah.
Be like, this is just a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the artwork. I think the artwork's great, and I don't mind some of the characters in it. But the main guy that drives it, I just can't stand him, and I had to drop it after 50 chapters.
I think the main drive of this one is just the multiple females in it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone is actually here for the main character.
I was in it for Ruka. Was that the other girl?
Ruka. Hold up. If that's the one I'm thinking about, you have some explaining to do. Wait.
Oh, no.
Wait. Is that a spoiler?
Not really. I mean. You see her in the opening.
I see something. Wait. Small spoiler. I see that someone dies over here, or am I wrong?
Really? Well, I've not read a lot of it, so.
Wait, who is Mizuharasa or something?
Let me have
Mizuhara Death. That we learned on the September 15th of 2020 that she was pronounced dead, leaving loved ones great sadness. Is that the author or? No, I don't think it is it? I hope it isn't.
Miri Jama is the. Was the manga author.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure who. Maybe one of the voice actresses or something.
Yeah, well, we could be wrong. Oh well.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I mean, Kazuya, the main character, I just didn't like him. I just couldn't get on with him. I mean, there was Chizuru. That's the main girl that's pictured now.
Yeah. Wait, oh, I see something very... Wait, what? Rent-a-Girlfriend voice actor Laura Stiles claims to have received hate mail over her role as Mami Nami.
Oh yeah, my
I don't know why you would send hate mail to the voice actor.
It's really stupid, that is, you know.
I get it if...
a character, you know?
It's weird.
Really...
It's weird, because then, first of all, they're not the original source. Second of all, it's... Come on, man. it's just a book, or a manga, or an anime. Don't...
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
The Way of the House Husband, just to acknowledge chat here. Yeah, it's awesome series. There's an awesome live action as well, if you can find it online. It's got subtitles, but it's worth a watch.
Netflix adaptation, perhaps?
Yeah, the Netflix adaptation is for the anime, but there is also a live action.
Hold up, I'll put it over here. This one, right? Make this a bit smaller.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. It's really good.
Okay. Never heard of it, actually.
No?
No.
Oh. Well, it is like an ex-Yakuza who becomes a house husband.
Ah, okay. That sounds... It's probably comedy then.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah, okay. Oh, speaking of comedies, what's that one? Psyche K? Ever heard of it? Psyche Kuzo?
Not sure. Maybe I know it by a different name.
Well, it's just his name as the title, so there's no English translation. Maybe if you see the main character, you'll probably like... Yeah, I've seen him. Probably won't recognize the series, but... he's one of those overpowered...
Like he can do everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like One Punch Man. A bit overpowered.
I think that One Punch Man's done it in such a way though that at the world according to him, I've seen it,
Well, this one, the manga's also pretty good, but
yeah. I mean, I like this was one of them mangas and animes that I discovered because I was looking for a certain genre, and I stumbled on it for a character.
Because I remember reading manga and seeing anime of Psyche K, and it's kind of it's two different things because it's set up in this little meta universe, I would say, which the main character acknowledges that he is actually in a show, you know, kind of like Deadpool.
Yeah.
But he doesn't constantly break the fourth wall, but sometimes he thinks to himself like, oh, whatever should I do, and then it's kind of like he says what is gonna happen before it happens, even though you could argue that's because he has, I don't know, future sight, but he just, you know, he does it in a bit of a meta context, which it leads to some pretty fun dynamics.
Yeah. I mean, again, I enjoyed it. It's one of those ones that as I said, I found because I was looking for a certain genre, and I found because of a certain character. One of the other characters, I think she's a telepath.
Is it with monster people or?
No. It's this one. It's the world according to Sekai. But one of the characters in it.
The world according to?
I think it's the world according to Sekai or something like that. I think it's the one that's on the screen because it's either very similar or it's the same one. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, I'm also looking right now. Could also talk about some of the classics like Naruto, but I've never seen Naruto. I was more of a Beyblade and Bakugan kid.
I mean, if I'm going to talk about like old art series, I'm going to talk about like Gaia or stuff like that.
Oh Jesus! Never heard of it.
That was the series that was here for a long time, Gaia. And I mean, so you know, back a long time ago, I didn't even think Berserk was a manga. I thought it was a French comic.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, because we had this French teacher who would give us pages, and she was cool, French teacher actually, and I guess because she got it, because France is the second biggest market for manga, so they have more.
Yep.
Yeah, so she had these Berserk, and she would give them out, and I guess it was her way of trying to get people interested in French.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Just turned people into weeps.
yeah. So that was my first experience with manga, to be honest, and I didn't realise it at the
Weird.
time.
Yes, I remember going to France a few times, and they actually do have a lot of manga stores over there. There are a lot more than near me. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
It's even a small city had some.
Yeah. And going to St. Omer, and I think they have one. So.
It's weird because wait, population France 66 million, and then English speaking population. Oh, because the USA population like 600 something, 328. You would say that there's a bigger market for English manga, but apparently not.
Yeah. I mean, we could.
Maybe just something cultural. I don't know.
It's possible. There is a lot of cartoons in France. Isn't there? They have a very big comic industry and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty. I would say it's probably far-fetched, but I would say maybe because of World War II, it could also be something like anti-Japanese sentiment. Or maybe it's too far-fetched.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean,
gotta be a reason.
I haven't noticed anything like that here, to be honest. I think that it's just we're too heavily Americanized.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of American comics that come over.
Yeah.
And so manga's sort of more niche.
Yeah. So definitely think pretty sure maybe it's just because I think there's a pretty big manga loving and anime loving community in my country itself. And pretty sure that's because of we have a lot of Americanization, and manga and anime is just so much different, and it gives you a little peek into a world full of possibilities which weren't possible in cartoons and traditional comics.
Yeah. I mean, there's a wide variety of different types of manga out there. I mean, there's whatever field that you want to look at, like sci-fi or comedy or horror or fantasy, or there's something. If you look, there's something for everyone, really.
Yeah.
Because comics tend to either be superhero.
Yeah, either superhero or very short or detective, cowboy, but that's about it. And with manga, you have even some of the more niche, like some of the little not so safe things, but also like you have a lot of psychological horrors, normal horrors, romance, action, anti-villain or anti-hero, stuff like that. And this is something you can't find in normal medium.
No. It's a wonderfully rich world, and I think that's probably why I started my channel, because I wanted to tell people about these stories and these worlds that they might not have heard of. So I wanted to try and find, I do the ones that are maybe out there for certain people, but I wanted to bring manga that maybe people have not heard of, or maybe they've heard of it but they haven't given it a go, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. That's very good, very beautiful set. Really like a live quote, you would say.
Oh, right. I think it's profound. But yeah, I mean, before we go, I'd like to mention like Junto Ito, who does the psychological body horror,
Junto Ito.
Junto Ito. Do you know who?
With spirals, right?
Yeah, spirals, and he did.
I remember seeing some stuff of that.
Yeah. I mean, those comics are so trippy. They are
wait, here, I got it. Is it? I'll just pop it in.
would say he's probably one of the masters of horror.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, I think you mean something like this, yeah.
Yeah, there we go, the body horror. And there's
Uzumaki.
also the one that turns into snails, and the one where they go into like the holes in the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a visceral.
It's not really horror in the sense of, oh look, it's something scary, but it's
No,
it's taking something very normal, like just a normal head, and just deforming it so much that gives you creeps.
Yeah. But he's also done a very wholesome cat manga.
Well, oh.
He's also done that. I mean, he's done this. His main work is these visceral body horrors, but he's also done a very wholesome cat manga.
Wait, what is the author's name?
Junji Ito.
Junji Ito, I see him. Cat Diary?
Yeah, it's something
Could that
like
be
that.
it?
Yeah, it could be.
I don't think this is the wholesomeness you're talking about.
Well, okay, let me find you where
Right, this doesn't look so wholesome to me. Hold up, I'll show what I found. Yeah, there's probably something else. I think that's a little bit smaller.
It's called Yon and Moo.
Okay, this is it then. I don't know, I don't find this as wholesome.
Look, this one. Let me...
Yeah, that's...
Yes, yes, it's... Okay, it does go more for the whole characters in a weird way, but it is a rather wholesome cat manga, because he's like, no, we're not having a cat, no, and then 10 minutes later he's building the cat house and stuff.
Okay. I think it's really weird seeing such detail to a page.
Yeah.
If you just look at like the cat's fur, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's not like normal what you call normal anime. It's just one color and sometimes a little bit of stripes through it, but it's actually like piece by piece hand drawn.
Yeah. I mean, he's very visual author. The faces and the expressions tell much more than the dialogue in his works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And although this picture is probably the worst example of the cat manga, but yeah, it's actually quite a heartwarming one. It's quite a nice one.
Yeah. Found something else, so that might be a little bit better. There we go. Sometimes I keep picking up all.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, he's like Savage the Human.
Ah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something I would definitely read.
Yeah, it's basically semi-autobiographical, this one is.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it then.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me on your
Oh,
channel.
thank you for being here, man.
Yeah,
Actually enjoyed this.
Yeah, we could do this again, definitely.
Yeah, if you really want to, I'll be glad.
Yeah, we could try and like maybe we could do like certain animes or something next time, or light novels or something like that.
Yeah. Not really into light novels, so that probably won't be it for me.
No, okay.
I want to do some anime or manga again. That would be fun.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, even though we've covered so many here, I mean, you could go into each one with so much more detail.
Yeah.
You know, and so even though I'll review some of the ones that are up here, definitely.
Yeah.
Detail, but you know, this is just like a brief look at the
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's nice to compare different interests, you know. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
things from you that you'd be interested in, and there's maybe things that...
I'm a man of my trash, so I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, I'm so glad you were here.
Yeah,
And I think
thank you very
I'm
much.
just gonna start a raid on someone,
Okay,
and I'll
cool.
send you the VOD later for your YouTube video.
Whenever you got time.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, be sure to check out his channel.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good manga reviews.
Yeah. There's also one very rough one, so bear with me while I grab a top to think.
Okay. Hey, I hope you do well.